Hi there, it's Jennifer Batto. Today we're going to talk a little bit about Mastery Path settings inside of your Canvas courses. This is something you want to consider pretty early because when you're building your course, deciding what assignments are going to go where is one of the first steps that you're going to take to make sure you're meeting your students' needs as well as covering all of your standards. Now, you can definitely build a module and have all students do all tasks, or you can use the Mastery Paths model to have students take pre-assessments and decide what tasks they need to complete. As we know, studies show that an individualized plan for each student can help to their learning gains. It also helps when students sometimes select the path that they choose to show that they have mastery over information. Personalized learning is on the uptick, and some schools actually require this now. So this is an easy way that Canvas can help you meet those needs. So you can see in my unit here, we have the what is health. This is the mastery path model or the mastery tasks. And you can see over here, I have these assignments on mastery paths. If you look up above, you'll see my other unit, and it just tells you that all the students are going to be doing those assignments, not just the ones that are on the mastery path. So it is pretty easy. This is what a standard module would look like. And again, this is where you would look at your mastery task model. One of the very first things that you want to do to make sure that you're able to do the mastery task is go into your course. So I will go back to my home screen so you can see that. And this can be a little frustrating if you're not sure or you've never used Mastery Task or you're not very familiar with your Canvas course just yet. But one of the things you want to look at on your home page is if you scroll down, you have a section over here called Settings. Now again, if you don't see this, make sure that you click on this 3 lines here. We also call that a hamburger menu, and you can see how you can toggle that menu back and forth. So if you're not seeing it, hit that button and you should be able to see all of your choices here. So if you go into settings, you'll see tabs that'll load across the top. You want to make sure you go into feature options, and that mastery paths, your list might look a little bit different depending on your district and or your company and what they're turning on for you and offering in the package. And here's mastery paths. So I want to make sure that that button is on so that I can even see the settings to do a mastery path. So let's go back, and once that is on, you can go back to your modules. Also important to note is sometimes mastery paths could be turned off if you have an automatic grading software that will pull your information. This could happen if you're using a gradebook system and it does not allow you to have blanks in the gradebook. So with a mastery path, you would have blanks in a gradebook because not all students would do all of the exact same assignments. So you absolutely want to be sure that that is not going to cause a problem in your grading before you embark on setting up mastery tasks in your system and mastery paths. Okay, so once you're in the lesson, so you can see I just have some basic intro here. And then again, I took this What is Health unit and I have modified it in this section to see mastery paths. The way you will look at that is you can go onto your assignment. This is the pre-assessment quiz. This is where I'm going to look at everything, and I want to make sure that if they're able to take this quiz and they're able to do well, they can move on without doing some more review assignments and head on to the rest of the unit. But if they aren't doing great in that pre-assessment, it's time to review. Let's take a look at the material. I can give them remedial information. I can give them review information. I can give them new information that might explain it in a different way. It completely depends on your course and the needs of your students. Once you click on that edit button, you'll see those tabs again. It'll probably come up on details first, but you want to go to Mastery Paths and click on that. And you'll see here that you're able to add assignments into each path. So as I mentioned, I have this pre-assessment quiz. Now, mind you, I only have one in each section, but you can build this out. You can move things around. It just depends on what you need specifically for your class and for your assignments. Do you want to do this in every unit? Do you only want to do it in certain units? So you can add this pre-assessment quiz or whatever you have to assess that base knowledge. Your students might come in from anywhere on that learning field. They might have all that knowledge because they're repeating this course again to get a higher grade, or they might never have had this knowledge in any of their science classes. My lesson here is specifically on target heart rate zones, so I want to make sure that my kids understand that information. I also teach kids on a wide variety of grade levels, so some students have had that information while some students may not in their other health and science classes. So I have a pre-assessment quiz here that is worth 15 points. My scale is on 15 points. If they get 10.5, which will mean 11, depending on how I've set up my quiz, sometimes I do have half-point questions. If they score in this range, then that's great. They can move on. If they are in the under 10 range, they're going to go ahead and they're going to need to watch this video activity as a review. Everybody is also going to do this what is health physical activity log, but my students can jump ahead to it if they need to, or they can start working on it from the very beginning. So you can kind of move this around however you see fit. You can add other things. You can simply click the plus button. You can pick other units. You can add them in. You can decide if you want to have some other review materials, but this is where you will start that process for Mastery Paths. Again, this isn't a detailed, informative session on how to do each one, but it's that you know it exists so that when you're planning out your lessons, that you know that's a consideration to make. Again, when you go into the edit field, you'll be able to see all of that and you'll be able to decide if Mastery Paths are right for you. Thanks for watching.